So, hi, Larry. Thank you so
Hello.
much for for being
No,
here
thank you.
with us today. Well, let's start from the very beginning. So, today we
Okay.
will be talking about the Quantum Devil. You've been in
Yes.
Spain. Yes. So, how was
Yes.
that?
I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to come back. It was my first year there, and everybody at the festival made me feel really welcome, and were so nice everywhere I went. It was a beautiful country.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Yes.
And the weather was
Yes.
fantastic those days in Sitges. So, it
Yes.
really, we really enjoyed it because sometimes we have some rain, but this year it was pretty
The last
perfect.
day,
Yeah, yeah,
the last
that's
day it rained when I
yeah,
went home.
yeah. The previous year,
Yeah.
it was like 4 or 5 days of rain pouring.
Mhm.
So you had an amazing time to come this year, and I'm really, really glad. So I wanted to ask because
Yes.
horror and sci-fi is not that easy to produce. So how did you end
Yes.
up doing this type of genre?
Well, it was like a passion of mine when I was a kid. Um, we used to go to the video store after school, and I would always rent these movies, the Evil Dead and Nightmare on Elm Street and Hellraiser, and so that's why I grew up watching these movies, and that's what when I got older, that's what I wanted to do because I really enjoyed that escapism when I was a kid. I remember something like watching From Beyond. It would just blow your mind to imagine that there's other worlds, or you could just step through a door and be in another dimension. So um, now that I've been making movies and an opportunity came up, I wanted to kind of do something like that that I would want to see if I was, just getting out of school and I would want to check it out and what would blow my mind. So that's what I tried to do.
Well, you've written and you've directed the movie.
Yes.
And what would you say is the most difficult part of it all?
Ooh. What is the most difficult part of it all? Well, for me, I love all of it. I mean, I love being a filmmaker, and one of the things I like is that, I get to spend part of my time writing, and then I get to spend part of the time choosing the cast and creating the costumes and imagining the world. Then I get to go and shoot it. So it's not like I'm ever just doing one job. It's like it changes every, I get a few months of this, a few months of this, a few months of that. But it's just so much fun, and it's something I'm really passionate about. I really feel like I'm doing what I'm meant to do. When we're on set and we're shooting, is probably my favorite part.
I guess it's like you have that baby, no? This baby, and it's all of you. But sometimes directors only direct. The huge movies. You
Oh,
have
yes,
like so many people going around. But this project is yours, yours only.
yes,
So I guess everything is really in detail, and I really wanted to ask because it's dark but yet stylish. The movie is fantastic that
thank you.
way. Did you have in mind all of those little details that screen fashion, but at the same time is antique? The mansion, like the inside. How?
Yes. Well, I knew what kind of story I wanted to tell, and when we were talking about where we were going to shoot, first we started talking about Romania, and we were looking for different incentives to help, finance the production, and then we landed on Serbia. So the location scouts would send me pictures here in Texas, and I could look, and I would go on the websites and stuff, and somebody sent me this picture of this abandoned sugar factory
Yeah, it's
over
fantastic.
there, and I fell in love with it, man. It looked like a James Bond villain, like the Secret Lair. And so then the location people went out and took more footage of it and sent it back. So when I was writing, I could kind of tailor it to that spot. So knowing the location ahead of time is what really helped kind of dial that in. But I always wanted to tell like a kind of like an old Hammer horror, those old
Mm,
British
yeah.
films, like in the big spooky mansion. So I knew I wanted to do that, and I just kind of tailored the location, the script to fit the location, and there you go.
Yeah, because I loved how you use the staircase. That's really British. Really.
Yes.
Like you are going down up the stair and the characters are just popping up over there.
Yeah,
Uh,
very Agatha Christie with the
yeah,
knife.
yeah. I really love that part. You have all the characters, like, yeah, that Poirot movie. Everyone is in the in the living room, and you get those characters going in and out. And I really love that part because you can see how different it is the outside from the inside, and then you have that technological part like in the basement, and those
Mhm.
blues and the lights,
Yes.
everything mixed up, and it really gets to you, and you are hooked. Like, what is going to be next? And I really love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a difficult
Thank
topic
you.
for a movie. you know
It is.
yes, I don't think
Yeah,
I
it
fully
is.
understood everything, but I enjoyed it, so let's.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's all fiction. It's all made
Yeah,
up. But I did spend a lot of time researching
I imagine.
like some quantum mechanics and reading a bunch of research papers. And theoretically, what they're trying to do, if the quantumine substance was a real thing, it would work. You know, uh, just with if you had that one
Mhm.
factor. But the thing was to get these people in this location and try to murder them off one by one and have some fun with it.
Yeah, and I'm not sure I understood it. At the end, let's not spoiler, but at the end,
Sure.
when he's leaving, the car is leaving, and you get like the windows, and you can see the corpses on the
Yes.
ground, but you can see like in blues, like the ghosts, maybe.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and there are plenty of them, and I didn't understood fully why they were
Well,
showing
the
like that. And
the the, the thought is that Cerno had lured these scientists, these bad people to that location, and he essentially what he was doing, he really didn't want them for anything other than to sacrifice it
yeah,
to the Cthulhu, to Barada. So he essentially sent them to hell, and their hell is to be trapped in that building forever,
okay,
being tortured, living their
yeah,
deaths over and over. So at the end, as he's riding off into the sunset, they're all, if you look carefully, one of them's giving the finger
yeah.
to, to him.
Okay, because I was like, am I seeing this right? Why are they here and there? It's a difficult movie, but it's really
It is,
entertaining,
yeah.
but the topic was a little bit
Yeah.
difficult, yeah. But
Yeah.
having that in mind, I think you can really enjoy it. When we're talking about the design and that parts of
Mhm.
sci-fi, um, which was the most difficult to create, because you have a lot of special effects, so I guess that's
Mm.
kind of difficult.
Well, I think for me, the most challenging things were like our Cthulhu monster.
Hmm.
Because we don't have the budget of a Marvel movie or
Yeah,
a
I
giant
know.
studio, and everybody's so used to seeing all these magnificent
Yeah,
effects, and to not have access to those same resources, but still be creative enough to come up with something that was good enough to tell the story was the really challenging part, and I was very demanding with like the visual effects
hmm,
department. And I would, really try to dial in and say, hey, that tentacle passed over his face and there should be a shadow because if it was real, there would be a shadow. So that going back and forth with that piece of it with the limited resources we had was challenging. But I'm very proud of that last scene with the Barada. And did you hear the voice?
yeah, but it is. Don't know how to say it in the language.
Okay,
It's
that's
kind of
fine.
it's kind of tricky for me, but I was like, I really enjoy the effects. I know they are not
Thank
maybe
you.
the ones that you get to see in a Marvel movie, but you know
Yes.
that, and but they are really really spooky moments. For instance, I wanted to talk to you about the mirror one. I love that one,
Ah,
you
yes,
know, because I
yes,
wasn't
yes.
expecting that. And
Oh, good. Yeah,
the transition, you get to see, it's like, yes, you've done it. I'm scared. I was spooked. And it's fantastic
nice.
because you wouldn't expect that. So it's not that you need to be specific about something or really good at special effects, but you can do all things in a new way or
Yes,
maybe surprisingly. So I
yes.
really love that.
Oh,
Maybe
thank
more
you.
than I did the other special effects that were, I know, more difficult to achieve, I guess.
Yes.
But
Yeah. Well, that, I mean, whenever I can, I'm a big believer in doing the old style
yeah, I
physical
like
makeup
it.
effects. I love doing the makeup and doing the tricks more than the computer. And I think that movies like The Thing, even today, sometimes that looks better than some of the
Yeah,
CG
it
stuff.
is.
So we did as much as we could on camera, and I think it also helps the actors when they can see, something really gross or something, and they have something to act back to. So it's always the best. And the special effects guy over there, Mickey, is one of the masters. He did the skinless guy. He did
Ah, that
all
one.
the practical effects.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and even like with our Cthulhu monster, the tentacles and stuff were on set. They were puppets. They were giant
Ah,
puppets. Yeah, and then we
okay.
combined it. I always try to go as far as I can with something physical, and then when you have to go to the computer effects to kind of blend it all together.
I guess for actors, it's funnier, more interesting to do that on set that maybe having like the green screen at the back. I kind of
Yes,
find that like boring, you know, but when you're acting and you
yes,
have that and you have the blood and everything is splashing around
yes,
and
yeah.
you need to clean after that if you want to retake, no? So I think I enjoy when I'm watching a horror movie, maybe the old ones.
Yes,
I prefer
yes,
them, yeah. And I'm not much
yeah.
of a horror kind of girl, you know, because I get
Okay,
scared
yeah,
really
sure.
easily. But I
Yeah,
really love that. So you have like that old movie when we were younger, and I
yes.
how you mix. I really love that. So I'm
Oh,
glad.
thank you.
I'm really really
Thank you
glad
very
for that part.
much.
And the skin was fantastic. So really really nice makeup artist
Yeah,
over there. I thought it
yes.
was special effects. That part.
Yeah, no, that was all. No, it wasn't any
Wow.
there in the skinning when we took his skin away. There was no
Oh.
computer. It's all on set.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we like they did it, without skin, and then they put skin back on him so
Yeah.
we could rip it off. Yes.
Okay, so do you use like those storyboards that you need to do the
Mhm.
scenes? Yeah, it's all like well structured, I guess.
Yeah, I do a lot of storyboards on any movie I do, especially with these sequences. Every time I had to murder somebody, like with the mirror with the girls, I did storyboards for everything and I draw them, and that helps me communicate to the department heads, and we can have a reference to talk, and they can kind of see what I see in my mind. Because when I'm writing this stuff, I can close my eyes, I can see it.
Yeah,
And they did a great job bringing all that stuff to life. It was very fun for me on set to see it coming to life,
yeah.
and also for the actors like Edward, the guy that played Brad, the skinless
Mm-hmm.
guy. Like he's a nice guy and he did good in all his roles, but when we put the skin off, he became a different person. He was running around the set scaring people, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I guess that shows when you are in a movie. I guess that when the cast,
Yeah.
because you have plenty of people on the scene at the same time, so sometimes I get
Yes.
it's a little bit crowded, so everyone needs to be on point and they need to know what they have to do. But did you have in mind some of the names, or the casting process was really long?
It wasn't the casting process wasn't really long. Um, we uh, we had auditions, and this was back at the time of COVID. So they
Oh,
would video like we're doing now, and they would read the lines, and I did it
oh,
kind of that way.
difficult.
Yeah, so it was. it was difficult. Yeah, well, I mean, I traveled to Serbia from Texas to shoot the movie, during that time. And like the scene with all the zombies when they're ripping the
Hmm.
skin off, the government only said we could have like it was like 15 people. So I had to always move them in front of the camera to make it look like a club.
Tons of
And
people.
it was yeah, it was funny because you would see people dance, and the room was so big, but we always keep it tight.
Yeah, yeah, you know. But the actors are really, really good.
Oh yes,
I really enjoy the acting because it's so
thank you.
challenging and they are changing all the time. It's like the process. When you meet them, they are a completely different person when you leave them at the end of the
Hmm.
movie. So, how did you manage to put all of them together and at the same time giving them like the same amount of time in front of the camera? Because it seems like that, like they share their time.
Yes. Well, it was just written that way. I mean, we wrote it that way, and I enjoy movies that cast as an ensemble, like a lot. But my cinematographer, who's actually from Barcelona, or actually, I'm sorry, he would slap me. He's from Catalonia. Is that right?
Cataluña, sí, Cataluña.
Yes, his name is Paul Maribet is his
Oh,
name. He does all of the camera work in the movies. He says, "Larry, you've written Scooby Doo movie." I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "We have too many people to shoot." And then when we started working, I was like, "Oh, he's right. We have to do this and you have to do that." So I had to really we worked together to try to create shots where we could get everybody in and then get the coverage. Because we only had 6 weeks to make this movie. So it
oh,
was very
okay.
fast. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I always love when you guys tell me the amount of time you spend because it's like 6 weeks is impossible. How do you record everything in 6 weeks? Did you have many footage? I mean, because
Oh, yes.
yeah, so you did a lot of post production then to put it all
Well,
or not?
the, the way that I shoot when we go to set, first thing, and we're not shooting on film, we're shooting digital.
Yeah.
So, you don't have to worry about running out of film like you used to. But I try to do a lot of the work on set as far as like creating that mood and the lighting.
Mm-hmm.
We try to do that we had red lights or purple lights or whatever. It's all was as real as we can make it. And the way that I direct a scene or something is I'll watch on the monitor and we do it until I feel it, like it makes
Ah,
me
okay.
like move. So when they do it, like when the girl comes off, it makes me like
Mm-hmm.
that. I'm like, okay, we can go on. But if I didn't feel it yet, I'll keep making adjustments till we get it
Ah,
where it
okay.
needs to be. But the one thing I always ask myself when I watch is like when I'm watching is like, do I believe it? Do I
Yes,
believe what
yeah, I
happened?
know what you
And
mean.
then, because if I don't believe it, I'll say cut, and we'll go and we talk to the actors, and I'll say, okay, once we try this,
Yeah.
and that's how we just keep going back and forth. So sometimes we get lucky in like 2, 3 takes, and we can move on. Sometimes it's like 14, 15,
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know.
because you have a lot of people with lines at the same time, so it's really choral, and so you have that group thing. It's difficult to
Yes,
shoot. I mean, I guess, yeah. And
yeah,
how
and
about?
also.
Sorry. Yeah.
Oh no, it's okay. I was just gonna say also I kind of pick and choose my battles. So a scene that's important to me that I want it to be good, like that dinner scene, I took 2 days to film it,
Ah,
out
okay.
of that whole time. And then like something that's a lot of special effects, like ripping the guy's skin off or the girls in the mirror, I put time for that.
Yeah.
And then stuff that's like somebody pulling up in a car or something like that's not too important.
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah. You just
try to
shoot it.
I try to schedule.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I wanted to ask about the sound editing because it's
Yes.
really good. So, and
Oh, thank you.
you've been shooting in a really open space, so I guess it's difficult to have a good sound and so many people talking,
Yes.
moving. So, how did you manage that?
Well, first off, I got to give credit to the sound men. They were very good. There was a team, I think there was four of them, and they were really good. And we had mics on everybody, and then we also had the boom
Ah, okay.
mic. Yeah, so it's a combination of things. And then of course sometimes you can't help it. You can't get good sound in some scenes, and we had to do ADR,
Yeah.
which was also challenging because that we were still at the time of the pandemic. So we would be like this, and they would be recording, and I'd have to take it to the studio. But it all came out really good,
Yeah, yeah, I did.
I
Yeah,
think.
because in
I'm
a
pretty happy with it.
horror movie, you need the sound. It's really important for me,
Oh,
at
yes.
least. It's kind of like
Yes.
sometimes I don't know if to cover my eyes or maybe my ears because I get
Yes.
really scared. I guess I get more scared if with my ears than with my eyes. So I'm always
Yeah.
like this. So I think it's really important for a horror movie and sci-fi. Really, you need it because of all the lights,
Yes.
the disappearing, the appearing. Then now you have some scenes that are really like the rushing of the skin. That you need that, yeah, to feel it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you you are
Yeah.
inside the movie. So I
I
really love
feel
it.
like I think whenever you leave more to the audience imagination, sometimes it's better than
Yeah,
something I
yeah,
can make. So I like to lead right up to something. It's kind of like the girl in the bed with the maggots.
yeah. Oh,
That noise.
that part. Yes.
Yeah, that noise there helped a lot in the squishing and the gross. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, we were talking about 30 coins before we
Oh,
started.
yes.
Yeah, and there is a maggot like scene at the very beginning.
Yes.
Yeah, and the actor told us it was disgusting to shoot. It was
Yes.
like, oh my god. And I cannot imagine. Those are, oh my goodness, I cannot bear those scenes.
Yes.
Give me zombies every time, please, but no
Yeah.
bugs, no maggots.
Well,
I
we didn't like have any real maggots. What we had was like little plastic things they used
Oh,
like for
okay.
fishing.
Oh,
But I
okay.
put the sound effect in. I put that sound that
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
little
Yes, like you
squishy
say,
sound. Yeah.
imagination is the worst. Well,
Yes.
I really enjoy the movie. Maybe you can tell us
I'm
a little
glad.
bit the things that you enjoy the most. I don't have any more questions because I think I've ripped the movie apart. But
Oh, well, I just would say that any movie that I try to do, I really want the audience to have fun, and I know we didn't have all the budget of all the money in the world, and we didn't have the best of things, but we did the best we could with what we had, and we just tried to tell a fun story, and something that maybe if you come home from school or from work and you had a bad day or you had an argument with somebody and you start watching the movie, it's like you totally forget about what's happening. You just can't believe what's going on in the screen. At the end of it, you feel like, yeah, man, that was fun. I like movies that make you feel like you had a good time.
yeah, this one is like that. Do you have it in any platforms here in Europe so people can
Ah,
watch it?
hmm.
Or
I don't I don't know if we're over there yet. I think it's in the UK.
it's in the UK?
It's in the
Okay,
UK.
okay, I'll
And
watch.
yeah, I'm
Sometimes,
not sure about Spain yet.
yeah, no,
Our other actress is from Catalonia too. Ariana Cabral,
yeah.
the
I
girl played
will, I
Ivana.
will check so people can watch it because I
Yeah.
really love it so. And I know some people that would love to watch the movie. So I guess that is the problem with the language because if without any subtitles, sometimes it's difficult for people in here in
Yeah.
Spain to watch it only because when we are in sieges, there's no problem. You have the subtitles; they are perfect. You have it
Yes.
in Catalan and you have
Did
it
you have
in Spanish.
subtitles when
No,
you saw it? Did you have some?
no,
Oh,
but
okay.
I do not need them most of the time, so I think I got
Yes.
everything.
Okay.
But it was a little bit technical because the physics and all. But I think
Yes.
I got the hang of it. But I really
Yeah.
enjoyed it. So thank you so much for having me here, for being here,
Oh, no, thank you.
so I could talk to you about the movie. And I really hope we get to see one another in CGX, maybe next year or the following one. It could be fantastic.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Quantum Devil's actually the second of four movies. There's four
Oh,
the sequels, and it's the
okay.
second one. The first one was Girl Next, which I
Girl
think may be out
next.
over there, and the next one's going to be called Never Ever After, and I'm going to be flying to
Mm.
Cyprus to shoot that next year, early
Oh,
next year. Yeah,
okay.
and then the last one's called Dragon Island.
Dragon Island. Okay, so I've
Yes.
got it. Yeah. So we are talking real soon.
Yes.
then.
Good, good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
So nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Okay. You too.
Bye bye.